All right, good Thursday morning, everybody. Yeah, you can hear me. We're good. Welcome in. Welcome back. That's right. Welcome back. After being away for a week, I am back. We'll talk all about that. It's called I Was Sick. I had a cold, and we got our drink. Yeah, so I am feeling a lot better. So, yeah, it's kind of nice to get back. Yeah, we'll talk all about that cold, let me tell you. So, yeah, let's hop on the bike. Let's get things rolling. Let's get started. We got some cardio to do today. We're going to do 30 minutes. I'm not going to get into doing 45 or more. But we're going to get back. GPB, I see you. Welcome in. Welcome back. Yeah, let's get on the bike. My Leafs lost last night. They've been losing again, apparently. Some things never change. But anyways, welcome in, everybody. Liberty Street Rock here with the Rock and Roll Exercise Show. We're back after a week off due to a pretty severe, vicious cold that beat me up pretty good. So we'll talk about that. Basically, yeah, the cold got in the house as we were chatting about last week. So my youngest son got it. He graciously passed it on to me, who then I passed it on to my oldest son, And now I think my wife's finally getting it. So it's making the way right through the whole family. So, yeah. You know, and it wasn't so much that the cold was brutal. Well, actually, no, it was. It actually was more how this cold kind of affected us, and it all affected us pretty much the same. You know, you get the head cold, and you're stuffed up, and then your nose is running forever. But weirdly, one of the strangest things, I couldn't sleep. Like, you'd go to bed, you'd sleep for like 1-2 hours, and you wake up, and then you'd have to, roll over, try and go back to sleep, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I can't sleep again. You wake up an hour later, like you were waking up every hour on the hour, which I've never had a cold do that. So I don't know, kind of weird, kind of strange, but the good news is we're back, and we're ready to get some cardio going. I'm still a little stuffed up. I feel much better. To be honest, I probably would have been back yesterday, but we had a snowstorm overnight. Woke up in the morning, we had about 5 or 6 inches of snow. So I went out and did some shoveling at 6 in the morning. After I was finished that, trust me, I didn't need any cardio after that. So, and then when I got home later in the day, the temperature was dropping. So I went and cleaned up just the snow once again. So I shoveled, well, not really shoveled, just cleaned up the snow again. So by the time I finished all that, and it was like, I'm exhausted. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm tired. So I didn't wind up working out yesterday. So the goal is we're going to be back this afternoon for shoulders to catch up where we left off. So I'm only going to do 30 minutes today. We'll see how things are tomorrow. Like I say, I do feel substantially better. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination I'm 100%. I think we're probably around about 75, 80. I think my head's kind of back into it. I'm ready to roll. But I know that we're not quite there, but we're close. So anyways, with all that being said, glad to be back. I see my camera angle's off a little bit. I should have probably fixed that before I went live. I realize that now. I know the camera got knocked when I came down one day and it was knocked over, so bear with me 1 second here. Alright, let's have a look and see. Probably should have done this before I went live, eh? Hey, listen, this is the way it goes. All right, let me sit there for a second. Let's, I think we're way off. Let's bring it back that way. And I think it just has to come down ever so slightly. I was going the wrong way. We're close. Got to come back a little bit more. Nope, now we've gone too far. It still does have to come down a little bit. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's continue. The joys of streaming live. Yeah, I just realized I'm sitting here like, wow, are we ever seeing a lot of that ceiling? Anyways, let's get a bit of a ride in. The whole idea today was just to kind of get back in the swing of things here and kind of just get the things rolling again here, kind of get back on the bandwagon. After laying around for a week, trust me, I was feeling severely like, yeah, this isn't good. I can't be laying around like this, not exercising, so I figured let's try to get back into it. So my Leafs did lose, and I guess since we chatted last, I haven't actually worked out once. Like I kind of wish I could have, but the other part of that cold was the exhaustion, like just completely wiped out. Nothing in the tank. The throat not lasting long. You can't talk. You're living on Buckley's. You're living on. I was taking some Tylenol, and yeah, it's just not a good recipe. So, but we're close to being 100. We're close to getting back. So, welcome in. Glad you're along. Glad you're here. So the goal today is 30 minutes of cardio. Again, we're not going to break a single record of anything today other than the fact that we got our cardio in. That's the goal. So we'll do that. Like I say, really hoping this afternoon, we're feeling good enough to come down for a smaller workout. I know we're doing giant sets. If I have to trim it down a little bit, we'll trim it down a little bit, but hopefully we'll be able to get it going. So anyways, yeah, we got some merch that came in. Pretty stoked about that, actually. So really happy about the merch that we got in. We got some coffee mugs in, so really excited about that. So yeah, we'll hopefully, I'm working on getting the boys to get me some pics. So really hoping we can make that happen. Get some pictures up of some of the stuff. We got some baseball caps and got some coffee mugs in. So really excited about the merch. It looks great. The winter spring cut, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that because the first month went off the rails at the end here, being away. I think it's officially like 8 days I've worked out. So I think we're gonna restart the winter cut now, February the 1st. I think today's the 29th. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to restart that cut and redo the math. Now we'll probably go February, March, April, and now May for 16 weeks, considering we completely went off the rails the last 8 days. So yeah, I'll mull it over how I'm gonna do it, and I think we'll restart it because I'm still not 100 yet, but I think we'll restart it February the 1st and do a relaunch on that. So yeah. But it's good to be back in the gym, everybody. Good to be back. I'm hoping base starting on today, because where I left off, we had to do shoulders. So if I can get shoulders in today, back and buys in tomorrow, which is Friday, then Saturday morning we can come down and do chest and tries, and Sunday we can do legs. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve here. That's kind of what I'm hoping. So let's take it one day at a time. I don't want to get too far off the rails here. I like the setup. I like the split. I like what I'm doing. I just got to make sure I got the energy to do it. So let's see how things go today. I do have a busy day ahead, but that's fine. That's okay. We got to get the food back on track too, because we got completely off the rails the last 7 or 8 days here. Yeah, I think there were like 2 or 3 days in a row just literally living on soup. I couldn't, and of course it's, the famous chicken noodle, right? Because there's not much else you could eat. The throat was on fire. Like, literally couldn't talk for about a day. Trust me, there were some happy people here about that. There was some pretty happy people about that. But yeah, one day specifically, like, the throat was just fire. So I was like, oh man, this is not good. But anyways. Okay, so Leafs lost last night, which totally sucked. Hopefully they get things. They're on a 3-game road trip, so today's Thursday. I don't even know if they played tonight. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to find out. But they're on a 3-game road trip, and then we move into the Four Nations Cup. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not even excited about this. this type of nonsense doesn't excite me anymore. You know, I mean, back in my day, we had the All-Star game. I mean, at least back in my day, the game was reasonably competitive. I know in '79 we did the Challenge Cup, which they lost, and then they went back to the All-Star game format, and then it wasn't until '87 we did Rendezvous 87 up in Quebec, which again, that didn't really excite me either. But then for some crazy reason, like the next couple of years, the All-Star game started to turn into a shinny game. Like, the game just wasn't competitive anymore. It turned into a shootout. You know, stupid scores, you know, 11-9, 12-6. Like, it just turned into a debacle. I don't know, kind of crazy. Don't know how that happened, but it did. So, I don't know. Now we're doing this Four Nations Cup thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tournament of some sort. I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention at all. So I guess I'll have to kind of see here what becomes of it. So let's see. We'll see how it goes. But I gotta be honest, I'm not really, you know, overly interested in it. I guess we'll have to see if the younger generation are into it, but I guess it would be kind of hard to go back to the original way. The Stanley Cup champions play the All-Stars. That's how it was. Then they went East versus West, and then Campbell versus Prince of Wales. And, you know, now we're back to East versus West again. Now we're back to, you know, now we're moving on to a Four Nations Cup. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. All right, so again, recapping, we're doing 30 minutes. We're just riding the bike. I'm not doing anything out of this world here today. We're just going to keep it simple. We could talk political stuff, but I try to avoid that at all costs. It gets pretty contentious awfully quickly, so I don't really want to go down that road. So it would be so simple to talk politics, but the reality is we just don't all agree, so not a good idea to go down that road on a fitness channel. So we won't do that. We are in the midst of winter. We've got February around the corner, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. That means we're all through January, which is great. So let's get into February, a nice, you know, short month, which we always enjoy. Psycho Commandos in the house. Yeah, good to be back. I'm actually on the verge of sweating now. So, yeah, we're trying to make it through, man. I mean, I feel good. It's just the voice isn't quite 100%, but yeah, it's kind of good to be back. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Psycho. I was saying earlier I would have been back yesterday, but dude, we got hammered with some snow here. Maybe hammer's a bit of a stretch. We had a darn good snowfall, so I was out shoveling at 6 in the morning. That's the only reason I didn't come down here yesterday, because I had all that shoveling to do. My kid had to get out. I had to get the wife to work. And after I shoveled, dude, I was done, man. I was tapping out, done. I'm tired. That was a workout and a half, man. So it's the only reason I didn't come down here yesterday. So, anyways, yeah, it's good to be back. Just, honestly, today's just about riding the bike, man. Just about riding the bike. Just doing my best to, you know, get a little bit of a heart rate going. Get a little bit of an elevated heart rate going. Finish up just after 6. I got to get my wife to work. Come back, got to clean up, have some breakfast, and I got to get out of here. So, yeah, busy day ahead. So, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I was probably lurking in pretty much almost every one of your streams over the past week. Some of the days just mentally just exhausted, just not into it, like to comment and get in, but I did lurk in most of the streams. So just, yeah, I was saying about this weird cold, and this was not the flu. This was a cold, but it was a weird one, man, where, you know, you're exhausted, like beyond exhausted. And weirdly, man, like I've never had this before, where you go to bed, you sleep for like an hour, you wake up. Okay, now you roll over, go back to sleep. You wake up an hour later again. Like I've never had where I woke up like 5 and 6 times in a night from a cold. There was a couple nights where I was waking up at 1 and 2 in the morning and I can't go back to sleep. Number one, I couldn't breathe. Oh no, it wasn't the flu. No, it was a cold. Like I talked to my uncle down in the States, and what they qualify as a cold where he is, or the flu, like is what we call the cold up here in Canada. Like we qualify the flu as when, you know, you've got, shall we call it, you know, your stomach's upset, you're throwing up, that's, you know, or you have the runs type of thing as we call it here. Like that's the flu in Canada. This was just a cold where, you know, you're stuffed up, your head's pounding, you've got the body aches, which I did, you know, and you're tired, you know, you're going through a box of Kleenex like it's going out of style. Like that's what we call a cold. He says that's what they call the flu, where he is. I don't know. I just know that, you know, yeah. So, but long story short, I'm feeling better. Other than my throat's still a little bit sore. It's doing better. But yeah, just, you know, like the only thing that you're going to beat a cold with is just some rest, you know, and of course we all have that, you know, chicken noodle soup mother's myth, which is a good one. So yeah, we had some of that too. So, but I feel better. So it's just a matter now of just kind of recharging those batteries, getting past the last little bit of being stuffed up. So, but yeah, I feel a lot better though. And like I said, the throat needs a couple of more days. It should be good. But yeah, just I got shoulders to catch up on. So where we left off was I hadn't done shoulders yet. So I'm kind of hoping this afternoon I can kind of get shoulders in, which will be good. And I might have to go a bit lighter and go a little bit slower and just kind of take my time. But that's kind of what's on the agenda. Or I might just shorten it up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how I feel this afternoon. But that's on the agenda. So yeah, so yeah, you've been knocking it out of the park. I was also saying I got to restart my challenge, because after being away now for 8 days, I think we'll just restart that challenge on February the 1st, which will give me another couple of days just to get those batteries kind of refreshed and recharged. Anything's possible. I mean, that hasn't made a lot of news up here, you know. Yeah, that hasn't made, you know, a ton of flu, like, or a ton of news, like even the bird flu and all this they're talking about. Like, yeah, I mean, you know, there is a virus going around. Yeah, there certainly is up here. Everybody you know is sick. I mean, but historically, that's what happens in January. Yeah. Yeah, like everywhere I go, like everybody knows 1 or 2 people that are sick. So yeah, I mean, it is the time of the year that we get it. So, and let's be honest, right? The temperature here, like where you are, it's been a yo-yo, man. It's been up and down. You know, it's been all over the place. So yeah. But anyways, the good news is we're feeling better. Well, it's, again, up here, I mean, have I heard people talk about it? Oh, a little bit, but it's not really like a big chatty type of thing going on up here. Well, yeah, there's no big difference in price of eggs up here. You were talking about that on Sunday. I mean, I bought eggs the other day and the price was the same, so. But you got to remember, like I'm in where I am here in Ontario. I mean, we've got, you know, for argument's sake, I'll say thousands of egg farmers. So, not a big issue up here as far as I'm aware. I'll actually today pay a lot closer attention and just have a peek. But I mean, I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's been no discussion on the news here about egg pricing, but I'm not sure why you guys, what the problem is down on the West Coast or wherever you guys are getting your eggs out of. But I haven't seen anything here specifically with the pricing. So yeah, certainly a very interesting situation, that's for sure. But I will have a good close look today. But the grocery stores up here, where I am, there's a couple of massive suppliers, and their names escape me right now. But yeah, I haven't seen any of the pricing triple or double the way you were talking on the weekend. Have you guys got any eggs in this week, or are you still basically out? Okay, yeah. Oh, you're still out, okay. Yeah, I was in stores yesterday here, and there was eggs everywhere I was. So yeah, it must be either a West Coast thing or a US thing, but there's no issues here. Oh, wow. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll do some snooping around here today where I'm going, and I'll see if there's anything that I see or hear. But again, being where we are, basically all of the egg farmers here where we are in Southern Ontario, there's basically two massive farms that supply pretty much all the stores. There's plenty of independent private farmers that sell right off their own property. Here we're like literally within even like a 10-mile radius of where I am, there's probably like, I don't know, pick your number, 10, 20, 30 egg farmers around here. You know, so yeah, it is a very competitive industry. I'm probably going to lose my insurance, so TRT is probably going to oh wow, what's going on with the insurance? Don't you have it through your work? I thought you had it through your work. Oh, so it wasn't covered through your work. Okay. Oh, you're on the Obamacare. Okay, so, all right, so the new administration is changing the health care. Okay, so you had private insurance for your family, so now they're changing it. Okay.
Are you ready?
Get ready to count down. 10.
What's
9,
when does that kick
8,
in, or when is that
7,
happening?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, sorry that was a little loud. Alright, let's continue on. Oh, okay, yeah, we have something similar up here too. We do actually have it. Actually, each province has it. Okay, so got you now, follow you. Okay, so alright, so the government's discontinuing then the coverage that you're on is what's happening. Okay, I got it now. All the Medicaid portals went down. Okay. So, do you have a week left? Do you have 2 weeks left? Or are you done, like, literally now? Do you know? Or have they told you personally, hey, you've got, 2 weeks left and then we got to shut it down? Or you don't know yet? Alright, so you've pretty much done then. You probably won't get any more shots then. Maybe you get another one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I think we're in an ad. Thank you for your patience. Your support during these ad breaks keeps the stream alive and thriving. Stay tuned. The conversation never ends. Yeah, you're probably not there right now. I'll wait till you come back. I don't think you're there. In which sacred Sydney did the legendary In Excess and Mike Hudson's funeral rites take place? Oh, I don't know. No idea. Alright, we'll find out shortly on that. Okay, so where are we at here? Minutes-wise. I don't think Psycho's there. I think he's on an ad break. Alright, here comes the clock now. Alright, we got less than 5 minutes left in this ride. And then we're going to put the bike away. And then we'll get into our ab circuit. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe we'll just jump right into stretching. We'll skip abs today. What are we doing on time? 5:30 already, yeah. I gotta be off this after. I think about 6 I gotta get off. And I haven't stretched in a week, so I'm gonna be probably as stiff as a 2x4 or tight as a 2x4. That's what happens. Alright, let's keep things going here. Let's keep the ride going. Got less than 5. The ad should be ending in a minute. Yeah, I know the ads are still running. That's okay. Alright, so we got the heart rate elevated definitely a little bit. Not like a substantial amount today, and today wasn't about coming back and crushing it and outdoing myself. I just wanted to basically get a little bit of a bump in the heart rate. And just, get back and get on the bike. And that's kind of what I wanted to get done today. In which sacred Sydney had advice did the legendary In Excess frontman Michael Hutchins' funeral rites take place? Apparently, it was held at the hallowed walls of St. Andrew's Cathedral in Sydney, Australia. Psycho, you should be back by now. I think the ads are over now. We got about a couple of moments here left in this ride, and that'll wrap up 30 minutes. Which actually went better than I expected. So, I mean, I do have a little bit of a sweat going on, which is good. So I can feel it. So, and thankfully, I didn't have to break out the box plate. Yeah, you're back. Yeah, basically what's happening in your country is probably, give or take, 4, 6, maybe, no, it'll be 8. It'll be about 8 weeks. And the exact same thing's going to happen here. Our government's going to fall. Psycho Commando subscribed with Prime. Woohoo! Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Ooh, look at the crown. Look at the crowns. Appreciate that. We owe you some push-ups for that. Thank you very much for that. We will get those push-ups done for you. Hopefully we have enough energy to do them. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the same thing's going to happen here. We're about, I'd say, it's the end of March. The government's going to fall. So, we got tons of turmoil up here. I try not to talk about it, especially on a fitness stream. It's pretty, especially in this country. Same as your country. It's no different, to be perfectly honest. It's very contentious, very emotional. People get very, very uptight about it. But yeah, we have a ton of problems up here. Like, literally almost the same, to be honest. Like, very, very similar issues. So, yeah, I mean, once the new government gets sworn in, trust me, and there will be a new one, you're going to see the axe fall on literally, I don't know, I don't want to say dozens, but probably dozens of bills. They're just going to crush them. They're going to axe them, get rid of them. We have this very, very contentious carbon tax, and it will be cut instantly as soon as the new PM comes in. Whomever it is, and I pretty much know who it'll be. It'll be the Conservatives. They're going to crush the Liberals into oblivion. But yeah, it's the same thing. Very, very similar. But I honestly, I try really hard not to talk about it because it really is an extremely divided issue. And not just in our country, your country, every country. It's all the same. Yeah, that's never going to happen. We will never, ever, ever be the 51st state. It doesn't matter what government's in power up here. It just will never. It would be such a complicated thing to secede from the British Commonwealth and then, okay, we're going to surrender. It's just never going to happen. Yeah, it is. Honestly, as a Canadian, believe me when I tell you, that probably pisses me off more than anything else he's done. And that offends most Canadians you talk to. It's really stupid. Okay, I don't really believe for 2 seconds that the tariffs are ever going to happen. That's not going to happen because it will actually hurt your country as much as it would hurt mine. So I don't believe for 2 seconds. All this is negotiation stuff. That's all this is. And here I am riding and I'm past my 30 minutes. That's all it is negotiations. He wants the border tightened up. Hey, I'm with him. The border should be tightened up. There's bad things happening on both sides of the border. Hang on, I gotta write these numbers down. I'm with him on that. Yeah, we should tighten up the border. There is a lot of illegal stuff going on. Okay. What's the date today? 29th. I better know the date. I know what it was yesterday. It was my wedding anniversary. Oh, sorry, it was 2 days ago. Today's the 30th. Oops, my bad. Today's Thursday. Okay, so we did a bike ride. Hold on, I just gotta write this down. Well, we did 30. Okay, we did 9.49. Okay. Yeah, nobody talks about over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years that literally, thousands upon thousands, and I'm not kidding you, entered Canada illegally at Roxham Road in upstate New York. Nobody talks about that. We're probably talking in the range of 100,000 people left your country and came to mine, and we had to foot the bill and take care of them. Nobody talks about that. Why is that? But he's all beat up about supposedly this issue of people entering his country. Yeah, we probably do have thousands of people entering the United States illegally from Canada. They are rounding up American Indians and ignoring... Okay, we're not talking natives. You're talking about... Okay, so what's being told up here to us... Oh, hold on. I gotta change the music. So what we're being led to believe up here in Canada is that they're rounding up illegal aliens, people that have either entered through the Mexican port or wherever they've entered. And that's who they're rounding up. That's what we're all being led to believe up here. Just going to change this music and turn it down a little bit. Like that, I haven't heard that they're rounding up American Indians. I haven't heard that. That's certainly new to me. I mean, the news that we see up here in this country, and most of our media outlets are pretty biased to the left, but yeah, I haven't heard that. That's news to me. I haven't heard any of that. We get told they're rounding up illegal immigrants, people who've come to the country illegally, people who have overstayed a visa, people who've overstayed their welcome. For instance, if you were to cross the border legally from Canada to the United States, and you went to Florida and said, I'm staying for 6 months, but next thing you know, you're down there for 2 or 3 years, well, you'd be considered now an illegal alien. That's what we're being told up here, and that's how it's being portrayed. I've heard nothing of American Native Indians, as we call them in Canada now, Indigenous, but I haven't heard any of that. That's news to me. And I'm not sure why they'd be going after, American Indian natives. I have no idea. That's kind of bizarre. And to be honest with you, believe me, the conversations that are happening in your country are the same that they're all happening here in Canada. It's the same thing. Yeah, they're talking about, like, well, okay, so we're essentially almost in a full-blown election up here. It hasn't quite started yet, but we're in election mode almost. Like, they can't legally say they are campaigning because that's against the election laws. But they're already talking about it. Like, we've got, believe me, probably 2, 3, 4 million people here that probably shouldn't be here. And as things that are ongoing in this country, like they're talking the exact same talk from both the conservatives, which are the Republicans, and the liberals, which are the Democrats here in Canada, having the same conversations. They're talking about mass deportations of illegal immigrants. They don't say aliens up here, but they say illegal. It's the same thing. The same conversation's happening. And most people are okay with it. If you're here illegally and you're costing me money as a taxpayer, people are saying, hey, get out. It's happening just like it happened in the last 2 massive deportations. Yeah. Hey, listen, we live in very, very divided times. We live in very, very emotional times. There's a lot of people that get very, very upset about a lot of things, about what's going on. And very similar things are happening in both countries. Somehow or another, we just got to navigate our way through it and hope for the best. I mean, we're going to have an election up here. It's going to be, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be very, very contentious. And one party is going to get demolished. I mean, demolished. The Liberals will lose extremely bad. History repeats itself. It's impossible to move something like this so fast without getting innocent people caught up. Yeah, it's history does have a very strange way. And then I just heard of repeating itself, and we heard on the news like late last night or this morning. I think it was last night I saw it. They want to reopen Guantanamo Bay and ship 30,000 people there. Like, where did that come from? Where did obtaining Greenland come from? The Gulf of America, renaming it from the Gulf of Mexico. Where did that come from? Like, these are things that weren't even on the radar Like, these were things that weren't even discussed. Sometimes that's almost the bigger thing. I mean, listen, I don't live in the States. I certainly get plenty of news from the States because, we get most of your news. I mean, not all of it, but the big stuff we get. And obviously the tariff talk. And I'll be honest with you, somebody from another country, it's affecting my country. The things that he is saying about the tariffs, this trade imbalance, he is completely wrong. And the one thing that caught my eye and ear was that he wants more of his dairy, your dairy, into our country. Dude, there's only so much shelf space, and he wants part of our dairy shelf for American dairy. There's different laws about what you put in your milk versus what we put in our milk. There's different ingredients that aren't allowed, blah, 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 all sorts of stuff. Like, we have very, very strict laws in Canada about that. And I'm no expert, by the way. I'm just saying what I know. But, yeah, that's what he wants. Trust me, we've got some very, very large dairy farmers here, from Kawartha Dairy to Seal Test to there's a couple other ones as well. But yeah, it's going to get very, very ugly. But most of the stuff he's saying is actually not true. And that's the reality of it. And until someone can sit him down and go, look, here's the trade, this is how it works, this is what's factually true. But he doesn't care because he wants part of our market because he knows that he can help his American dairy farmers, which, okay, great, that's fantastic. But again, we only have a country of 40 million people, But he's pretty much wrong on a lot of it. It's not a $250 billion deficit. It's around $40 billion. That's the trade imbalance that he's on the losing end of. The Americans are on the losing end of. It's not 250. Are there bad things crossing the border? Yeah. Is there a drug problem? Of course there is. There always has been. There always will be. But if we can boost up the border security and maybe put an end to some of it or try and lower it, sure. I have no problem with that. And with the illegal alien stuff, with people crossing the border illegally, yeah, it's barely what's the word I want here? There's no wall. It's an imaginary line that goes across. Like, yeah, people can cross, but if we can bump up the security to stop some of that, sure. You won't get much of an argument on that side, but you mean the cartel that the U.S. started? Well, believe me, there's Canadian cartels. There's people that ship people across the border. We just had a murder, actually, of a U.S. border guard up in Maine, I think it was. And it was a Canadian, I think it was a Canadian that killed him. Obviously they were into some kind of, nefarious activity, some type of, crime. I don't know all the ins and outs of the story, but I did hear last week that, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think you get an argument from anybody saying, hey, could we tighten up the border? Yeah, let's tighten it up. I mean, tighten it up. I mean, we used to have people crossing in boats, for crying out loud, illegally out near Kingston, but that kind of got shut down. That was in the early 90s. It was really, really bad. Illegal cigarettes crossing the border. They used to put them in boats. But anyways, yeah. But for all the other stuff, yeah, it's completely ridiculous. I still don't think, though, you're going to see a tariff. I'll be shocked. All right, we're just getting some stretching in today. I am tight as ever. I haven't stretched in a week or more now. So, yeah, I am pretty tight here. But we definitely got to get some stretching in today because I haven't done it in so long. What do you got on the agenda today? It's Wednesday. What are you doing today? Today back day for you? No, can't be back. It must be legs. All right, let's keep going with this stretch here. Yeah, we're really tight. I can feel this. This is we're pretty tight here. Okay, let's work on this hamstring here. Shoulders, same as me. I got new shoulders this afternoon. I gotta keep track on this clock. I gotta be done by around 6 a.m. this morning. Okay, let's continue on here. All right, let's get a back stretch in. Let's get a little shoulder maintenance in as well, since it is Shoulders Day. And I think my shoulder finally healed up. I had that little kink in it, I don't know what to call it, a little impingement, and it was giving me grief. So after being away for a week, I do believe it has pretty much gone away, which is kind of nice. All right, let's do some of these now. All right, let's do the left arm. Okay, and let's see the time, how we're doing. Okay, so we owe Psycho Commando 16 push-ups, subscribe for 6 months, and plus 10 push-ups for the sub. So let's do our 16 push-ups. It's almost 6 o'clock. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Whew. All right, 16 push-ups done. All right. Okay, we're going to wrap things up right there. Good to be back after being away for over a week, actually. Kind of unbelievable. Just, yeah, the cold got the best of me, beat me up pretty good. But the energy's on its way back. Feeling not too bad. Got to curtail the food plan now. Definitely got to get some meal prep in on the weekend. Get things back under control. And then we're going to relaunch the 2025 Winter Spring Cut because everything went off the rails the last 8 days. So, and just even before, like, quote unquote, I officially got sick, certainly I could feel it coming on. I talked about it, you know, the cold was in the house, you know, so it was only a matter of time before, you know, we got sick. But hey, it's good to be back. So let's see if there's anybody on quickly we can raid, because I have to, it's winter, which means we got to get outside and warm up the car a little bit and get my wife off to work. So we'll see if there's anybody on quickly. I'll just have a fast peek here and see if there's anybody on. And it doesn't really look like it, so that's all right. Okay, we're going to wrap things up here. Psycho, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you resubbing. That's awesome. Appreciate it. We'll see you all later on. Should be back this afternoon for shoulders. And when I get back, Psycho, I'll try and pop in as well. I know you're going to be on shortly as well. So, all right, everybody, take care. We'll see you